Is ARMY's dream of a full BTS reunion slipping away? The world has been holding its breath for the day the 7 members would stand together again. But instead of the long-awaited good news, the somber and deeply emotional statement from Jungkook has ignited concern and sparked countless unanswered questions. What exactly is happening behind the scenes? And why did Taehyung, better known as V, return from the military so quietly? Since BTS announced their temporary hiatus in 2022, fans worldwide have clung to hope for a powerful comeback. Yet, as time passes and the members enter military service one by one, their group activities have declined. Rumors have swirled, but one central question has persisted: will BTS ever come back together as 7? Recently, that hope took a sharp blow when Jungkook broke his months-long silence in an emotional interview. For the first time in a long while, he allowed the public a glimpse into his personal thoughts, stating, "Not everything will go back to how it was." These few words were enough to send shockwaves across the global BTS fanbase. The sentence wasn't delivered lightly. Jungkook took a moment to breathe, almost as though carrying a burden he'd long held in silence. Around the same time, Taehyung returned from military leave, but not with the joyful energy fans expected. A video of him at the airport, looking serious and reserved, began circulating online. He wore no smile, no signature wave, and gave no statement. His return lacked the fanfare usually surrounding BTS members, sparking a fresh wave of speculation. Why no celebration? Why no mention of a reunion? Why was HYB, usually transparent about BTS's movements, choosing to remain silent? Jungkook's online interview painted an even more somber picture. He didn't speak like a global idol, but as a person carrying emotional weight. He admitted that all the members had changed and were on different journeys. "We can't always return to the past, even when we want to," he said, his voice trembling slightly. Though he didn't explicitly mention a breakup or group disbandment, his words hinted at significant changes, emotional shifts that could affect the group's future. What made fans even more anxious was Jungkook's cryptic remark, "Taehyung knows, and we once talked, but not everyone is ready to hear the truth." This statement stirred suspicions that something deeper might have happened between the two. Their relationship has long been seen as close, perhaps even unusually close by fans, but now, they appear distant. Taehyung's usually active social media presence went completely quiet. No posts, no live broadcasts, and no interactions with other members. It was as if he had chosen to disappear. Sources close to the group, though choosing to remain anonymous, suggested that tensions within BTS may have emerged around mid-2023. These weren't based on animosity but rather differences in direction. Jungkook had reportedly shifted his focus toward building a global solo music career. Taehyung leaned more into artistic pursuits and acting. RM and Suga explored experimental music, while Jin and Jimin struggled to balance fame with personal fulfillment. Still, no one expected Jungkook to be the one to open the emotional floodgates. Fans were shocked. Panic spread. "Is BTS over?" became a trending phrase in multiple countries. Despite the widespread concern, HYB chose not to directly address Jungkook's comments. When approached by South Korean media, their only statement was, "We are currently focusing on supporting the members' individual activities." This vague response only deepened suspicion. Jungkook's decision to speak out on his own, and not under any official banner, shows a certain inner unrest. It was clear he had something he needed to say, perhaps something that had been held back for too long. As for Taehyung, the heaviness in his eyes, caught in airport photos, hinted at something serious. Some fans even noted that he wasn't wearing the BTS friendship ring, a small symbol that usually connects the members. Was this a subtle message? Adding to the confusion, BTS's official account stayed active but didn't share any group photos or content. Each member seemed to be operating in isolation. Taehyung's personal Instagram, known for his artistic and poetic posts, went completely silent. With all these fragments, Jungkook's emotional words, Taehyung's quiet return, and HYB's silence, many wondered if a reunion was even possible anymore. Industry experts weighed in. Some predicted that while BTS might reunite, it wouldn't be in the same way. They envisioned future performances with different formations, perhaps no longer as a high-energy boy band, but as matured individuals charting separate paths. Meanwhile, armies around the world were heartbroken. To them, BTS wasn't just a band, it was a bond. Fans created emotional tribute videos, held prayer events, and circulated petitions demanding transparency from HYBE. One petition read, "We're not just consumers. We're BTS family." And yet, amidst the whirlwind of worry, there's one critical truth that must be stated: none of these rumors have been officially confirmed. Stories about internal conflicts or a permanent end to BTS are largely based on speculation, emotional interpretation, and unverified sources. Jungkook's words, though sincere and heartfelt, were often taken out of context. His reflection on change and growth was interpreted as a farewell, even though he never said BTS was over. Taehyung's quiet return wasn't necessarily a sign of tension. In fact, it's not unusual for idols to return from military service without major public statements. His choice to stay offline could simply reflect his introverted and personal style, very different from more public-facing members. HYB has also never released a statement suggesting disbandment or internal conflict. Instead, the agency continues to support individual activities and has repeatedly stated that BTS will resume group promotions once all members complete their service. In fact, many member interactions still happen behind the scenes. Though not always shown publicly, the members meet, check in with each other, and maintain private bonds. Silence doesn't automatically signal conflict. Sometimes, it means healing, reflecting, and preparing for what's next. Fans also noted that Jungkook and Taehyung still follow and occasionally interact on social media, small but meaningful signals that their relationship is intact. BTS has faced plenty of changes over the past decade, and changes are inevitable. But change doesn't mean the end. Often, it's a sign of growth. All 7 members have repeatedly expressed their commitment to regrouping. In farewell videos and interviews, they've promised to return. So while the path may look different and the timing unclear, BTS's reunion isn't a myth, it's a matter of time. For ARMY, this should be a reminder to not let emotions cloud facts. While curiosity and concern are natural, it's important not to amplify false narratives. Loving BTS also means understanding their journey, respecting their space, and waiting with hope, not panic. As RM once said, time will pass, but BTS will remain. We will come back. And in those words, ARMY continues to believe. In that promise, we wait. And in that love, BTS and ARMY will always return, together.